this evening, trying to repair a tear in the alliance and keep American markets wide open to New Zealand products. He'll meet in Los Angeles tomorrow with a State Department official to explain New Zealand's ban on port visits by nuclear-capable U.S. warships. This policy has resulted in U.S. cancellation of joint military exercises with New Zealand and has threatened the whole future of the ANZUS alliance with Australia, New Zealand, and the U.S. In New Zealand, correspondent Bob Simon found people worried about how all this might affect their pocketbooks.
It's had something of the Pied Piper about it.
Well, I go so.
This tiny sheep-strewn nation leading the rest of the world towards a nuclear-free future.
Lovely bowl, Gwen.
Oh, lovely.
New Zealanders insist there's nothing anti-American in their stand. They're not marching off to a confrontation with the United States.
We'll always be friends with the Americans. Always.
I think we're going to lead the world to a nuclear-free world. I think other countries will follow.
That's precisely what the Americans are worried about. That other allies, Japan, West Germany, with strong anti-nuclear movements, even Canada, might be forced to follow the sheep that roared. Have New Zealanders enjoyed their romantic role? No, not really. On the road to Mata Mata, dairy farmer Philip Taylor explained why.
We really just produce food, and if you guys get us the wrong way, I think it's going to hurt us a lot more than it'll hurt you.
In the harbor capital of Wellington, where a church has declared itself a nuclear-free zone, Prime Minister David Lange says playing David to Washington's Goliath is a tough game.
I am going to be wincing, I think.
What's it like taking on the Americans?
Oh, they're good.
The Pentagon has canceled a number of joint exercises. Congress has hinted that could be just the beginning.
I think that we have to put nations on notice, that we're not going to continue to turn a blind eye to actions which undermine our overall national and international security.
All this to ostracize a nation of 3 million people and 60 million sheep. New Zealanders may not enjoy being the black sheep of the alliance, but don't think they're about to back down. The anti-nuclear movement has very deep roots here. It did not begin yesterday, and it's not going away tomorrow.
Hell no! Won't be any nuclear death round here.
This is the new face, the New Zealand face of the anti-nuclear movement. And on the road to Ngātaha,
our Prime Minister, he's leading us, like it or lump it, he's leading us, and he's standing up to you. Take my hat off to him. I've got to get behind him.
The United States has been utterly straightforward, very honest, very forthright, has never changed its position. The only problem is, of course, that we have been exactly the same.
And the feeling in Wellington and in Washington is that if these two old friends can't solve that problem, everybody loses. Bob Simon, CBS News, Queenstown, New Zealand.
One of the things we like to do occasionally is to take you to faraway places with strange-sounding names. New Caledonia is just a slip of land about 800 miles off the east coast of Australia. Until last November, the French territory was an idyllic South Sea island. But then elections were held for a new territorial assembly. Militant separatist parties boycotted the vote, violence broke out, and one of the groups declared it had established a provisional government. Bob Simon recently wandered through New Caledonia and reports on the threat to a paradise lost.
It's a tiny sliver of France in the South Pacific.